Now, my suggestion for further research is, of course, depending on my own interest in the local interaction across the borders. And one is, some people have seen this before, but you have to, if you haven't, you have to think of two states from a lateral point, from the side. So here is the border, and the layers here are the political hierarchical ladders. For example, the municipal level, the provincial, and the state, territorial, national. I don't like that word for that thing. And this case is, for example, Poland and Germany. And there are 4 levels here. And for example, when we are looking at education, which Martin mentioned, we'll find that if there is a common interest, for example, developing a course in the local history and the local area of Pomerania, you will find that the 2 municipalities or the 7 municipalities here, they have a meeting and they find we cannot decide about curriculum. So they will refer this to the next level. And very often the same thing happens. We cannot change the national curriculum. And sometimes you have to refer this to the capitals of each country, to Berlin and Warsaw. I got this idea from a polluted fjord between Sweden and Norway, the Idefjord, because this is what happened here. Local complaints, both sides complained, and nobody could do anything until there was an agreement between Norway and Sweden about it. But sometimes you have to refer to Brussels or the United Nations or whatever. One aspect of this daily, well, I have to look at this is a hawker place in Lundén, I think, in Poland. And I think still we need studies of individual spatial behavior in the borderlands. And not just looking at the traffic, but trying to get, and this is not very easy, to get into the heads of people who make decisions how to behave in the border. And then we have this attitude side. We have the gender aspect. This is a billboard in Haparanda. And what you may not see is that some of the posters here are about organizations working on the Swedish side and environmental and so, but almost the dance and discos are in Finnish. And this reflects a kind of hegemonic area in this area of dance and disco and so on. People go over to Finland and do it. Gender, again. Mostly gender studies are about women for some reason. And I think there's a big need for studying gender behavior in border areas. Because especially about purchasing attitudes and behavior, there is clearly a differentiation in, and also that border areas are differently affected, for example, by economic decrease. And this is from Hasselbalch and daily activities. You can see these guys are just sitting there and drinking. Another aspect of, and we are almost in the same area, this is a small village called Bismarck, very, very near the Polish border. But this is an East German Plattenbau. And because people are moving away from this area westwards, some of these flats are empty. So people from crowded Szczecin come over and stay here overnight, and then they commute back into their jobs in Poland. And Peter Balog is studying this. You can see this from the sign plates of the cars. This is very good, and many Germans like this. Some Germans don't like this, and things happen to some of these cars. Yeah. So, and this is used by extremists on both sides. First of all, the German extremists, NPD and their followers, they do it and they make graffiti and so on. And then it's reported to the extremist Polish press and exaggerated. So there's a kind of war. Nothing serious has happened. Another aspect of the daily activities is border tourism. There have been some presentations here about it. And this is a Chinese, probably of Korean ethnicity, standing just on or very near the border to People's Democratic Republic of Korea. And you see those false buildings here to show a picture of North Korea. You can also see the environmental degradation here, because on this Chinese side you have trees and greenery and so on, and here everything has been cut down. Another aspect is time at the border. I mentioned this from Białystok before, and here are the logistics of border crossing. And people from Finland have seen this. Sometimes you can see them even further away in western Finland, trucks waiting with Western cars for import into Russia. Another aspect of this is from the China-Russia border, and I think this is a transport of fish from Vladivostok into the Chinese mainland, so to say. Again, those trucks, and of course, it's very easy to report the lines and the waiting, but the social effects of that. Maybe there are several studies on this, but if you are here, you see some of the very sad effects. I'm not saying that this happens, because this is just outside of Narva, and these trucks are waiting for a signal to enter into the border station. But in other places you find prostitution, lots of environmental pollution, those truck drivers do all sorts of things in the environment.